All right. Time to do the First Alert live stream. I just needed to get a good stretch in. You know, that feels good, doesn't it? Right? You know, you get out of bed and just stretch out as far as you can. Get the blood flowing. This is First Alert Chief Meteorologist Steve Beylon in the First Alert Weather Center. It's Friday. The weekend is just about here. We're feeling some good vibes here in the First Alert Weather Center. You got a push alert, didn't you, on your phone? What did it say? What did it say? I should look, right? Mixed up weather. Fall today, summer tomorrow. Even the trees are confused. Yeah, I think the trees are confused. Absolutely, right. You know what? I'm sure the trees have no idea what season it is anymore. All right, so let's talk about that, actually. All right, so I have your fall color report. Now, the data you see here on the map, this comes from explorefall.com. Great website, especially if you're a leaf peeper. And as we mentioned a couple days ago, we've got low color in the Fox Valley and across east central Wisconsin. Moderate color is reported by explorefall.com across the North Woods. Now, I have heard via social media from a bunch of you that, you know, you're living up north and what you see in your neighborhood does not jive up with this map. And I get it, you know, like in your neighborhood, there's a lot of greens still on the trees and not a lot of the beautiful crimsons and the golds and the oranges. I have a funny feeling that because of different weather variables, this may be kind of a meh fall foliage season developing for us. So here's the problem. Well, it's actually a dual problem. We've had some prolonged warm weather over the past few weeks, and we've had some recent dry spells. And that really doesn't bode well for a really vibrant fall color season. Prolonged warm weather can delay the switch over from green leaves to other beautiful colors. Recent dry spells can dull the boldness of that color. So sometimes when you get really dry weather, the trees kind of go from green to brown, and then they drop their leaves, and that's it. And I'm not saying you're not going to see any fall foliage. You're going to see some this autumn, but it's taking its sweet time. The trees, they're becoming a bit stressed with this warm and dry weather. This is not ideal for them. And so it could impact what our leaf peepers get a chance to see. So temper your expectations. All right, here's a live view from our Oshkosh Sky Cam. You know, it was sunny about an hour ago. Now it's cloudy. 63 degrees. We've got a northeast wind. That's the key there at 13 miles, checked at 12 miles an hour. So that wind is behind a cold front, and it is going to usher in some cooler air for today. Let me take you over to Green Bay. Cloudy. There's that north to northeast wind. Temperature is 60 degrees. So here is our satellite view, and this is what we call a visible satellite. In other words, what you can see from space once the sun is up and illuminating those clouds from high above. And you can see those clouds from about Highway 64, just south of Highway 10. They're digging their way into east central Wisconsin. And you know what? It wouldn't be a shocker if there was a couple sprinkles. But these clouds are being formed by a cool front, which is settling into central Wisconsin. And behind this boundary, you're going to find a cloudy interval of two, and then the sun should break loose a little bit later on as we go into the afternoon. As the front sinks into central Wisconsin, it really doesn't have a lot of moisture to work with. So I think precipitation is going to be very difficult to find. Somebody might get some sprinkles, but I'm not looking for any substantial rainfall. Cloudy intervals, some sunshine, especially late in the day, and not as warm as yesterday with a high of 69 degrees. All right, so First Alert Pinpoint Predictor. Let's see what's going on here. We've got those clouds sinking south. Now, by midday, we've got sunshine across the North Woods, while the Fox Valley, Manitowoc, and Sheboygan is looking mostly cloudy. Those clouds will be thinning out through the afternoon. And as we head towards this evening, skies should be clear for high school football games. I'll give you a specific forecast for the Operation football game of the week coming up in just a minute or two here. Behind our front, northeast winds around 5 to 10 miles an hour, and that's bringing our temperatures down. A little closer to seasonable for late September. Highs mainly in the upper 60s north and up and down the Lake Michigan shoreline. South and west of Green Bay, you should sneak into the low and perhaps mid-70s. As warm as 75 today in Wapaka and Wautoma, with 71 for a high temperature in Appleton. Now, from the Fox cities and west, late tonight, with clear skies, calm air, some moisture trapped near the ground, fog is expected to form. And we've seen this on and off all through the week, and at times it has been dense. And I suspect we're going to find some more pockets of dense fog from the Fox Valley and west into central Wisconsin. So after midnight into early Saturday morning, if you've got any travel plans, just be on guard. You may need some extra travel time because people will be slowing down and hopefully using those low beam headlights through the fog. All right, so once that fog fades, then we get our next weather maker. We're talking about, and I've been telling you all this week, late season warmth. And not just this weekend, but all through next week. I mean, we're ready to wrap up September and go into October next week. Look at our temperature trend. Typical temperatures today, but then lots of 70s all the way through Thursday. And tomorrow and Monday, away from Lake Michigan, we could climb into the low 80s. Where is the autumn air? We got a taste of it a couple weeks ago. Well, right now it's trapped in northern Canada by the jet stream. The jet stream, the fast-moving river of air that goes around North America, around the northern hemisphere. Very often it divides cool air to the north and warmer air to the south. Well, because the jet stream is taking a Canadian vacation, guess what? We've got a lot of warm weather that's going to be building across the Midwest, the Great Lakes this weekend, through next week, and no significant storm system, so the forecast is looking dry for the foreseeable future, except for maybe a couple sprinkles today. Right now it is 58 degrees in Oconto. We're at 54 in Wautoma and in Anago. Currently 58 degrees in Fond du Lac and Sheboygan. Notice that Fond du Lac has got calm air, but then you go north. There's that north to northeast wind. You see that front really hasn't made its way down towards Wautoma and Fond du Lac quite yet. But north of that boundary, there's where you get that north to northeast wind, and that's why it's going to be a little bit of a cooler day. All right, so there's your First Alert Super 7-day forecast. Today, 69 degrees, clouds, some sun, a couple sprinkles, but mainly dry. And then tonight, I promised this would come up, our Operation Football Game of the Week forecast. Appleton North at Neenah. Clear skies, cooling down from the low 60s at kickoff down into the 50s. It's going to be jacket weather or hoodie weather for tonight. I'm sure a lot of the kids are going to be walking around with sweatshirts and shorts. You know, you see it. So skies will be clear. Should be a quiet night, just a gentle east wind. And you know what? If you're unable to go to the game and cheer on your favorite team, I guarantee you we've got highlights of the Appleton North Neenah game and all the games in Northeast Wisconsin tonight on Action 2 News at 10. Our sports team is going to be all over it, so make sure you watch tonight to get all the pigskin fun. And then the weekend, again, fog tomorrow morning. Could be thick from the valley and west. And then it's going to heat up. A high of 81 degrees in Green Bay. Lots of sunshine. And it's going to be warm up and down College Avenue tomorrow for Appleton's Oktoberfest. Getting up to near 80 in the afternoon with mostly sunny skies. So yeah, celebrate fall, even though it's not going to feel like it. And it does not look like fall or feel like fall. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, lots of highs in the 70s. And Monday could be a repeat performance to Saturday. Early fog and then another high of 81 degrees. And look at those overnight lows, 40s and 50s. Usually when those overnight low temperatures are falling below 60, then you don't have to be overly concerned about humidity. I don't view this as being a really sticky stretch. However, I think you might notice a tinge of humidity Saturday afternoon and Monday afternoon, but nothing all that horrible. Don't forget, this weekend, whatever you've got planned, whether you're going to Oktoberfest or that high school football game, or you're going to go to the pumpkin patch with the family, or whatever else you got going on. Maybe you want to get on the boat for maybe the last time this season. I'm noticing that some of those boats in the slip there in the Sturgeon Bay Marina are disappearing. Anyway, whatever your weekend plans are, tap our app. It's WBAY First Alert Weather. Forecast is delivered to you instantaneously wherever you go. Hour by hour forecasts, daily forecasts, videos delivered to your phone. And whenever we do get rain, of course, our Doppler radar tracks the precipitation. Sometimes you even get push alerts if there's thunder nearby or heavy precipitation nearby. It's all customizable too. So you can get what you want and ignore what you don't want. So scan that QR code and the forecast is covered whether it's sunny or it's severe. Coming up on Action 2 News at noon and at 4, meteorologist Emily Mers is going to walk in. She'll say hi and how's it going. She'll crack some jokes. She'll get the data going. She'll update the forecast. And you hopefully will tune in and see what she's got to say. Coming up again on Action 2 News at noon and at 4. All right, there you go. I think that's everything. Hope I didn't forget anything. Anyway, happy Friday. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you have an even better weekend. And I'm sure we'll do this all again Monday because that's what we do around 8:35 in the morning. I try to get you where you're at and give you that updated forecast. All right, thanks for tuning in. See you around. Bye.